The vibrant, bright-colored dial of the Aknight is inspired by Rolex OP Celebration Dial. This dial is like a personality test. Do you see balloons, balls, candy, or soap bubbles when you look at the dial? If we look to the brand where the Aknight got the inspiration from, this was the craziest dial, full of contradiction, self-irony, and tongue-in-cheek. The original brand is ultra-conservative in terms of design. And what this Bubbles Aknight watch is trying to homage is the Celebration Dial, which managed to brighten up so many enthusiasts and at the same time drive hardcore purists up the wall. So I managed to get this watch on AliExpress for just 18 bucks, and I will be leaving a link to the listing I got it from in the description below the video, so make sure to check it out. Do I like the wacky dial? Of course I do. I think it is crazy. It is so much fun. It's awesome, and it's a watch that I think does say quite a few good things about people. But without further ado, let's get into the details of the Bubbles Aknight watch. Let's kick off with the dimensions. The diameter is 38.9 millimeters. The lug to lug is 48.1 millimeters, but because of protruding end links, we end up with 52.8 millimeters. The height is 11.4 millimeters, while the weight is 112 grams, but that's after removing 4 links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist. Originally, it was 130 grams. The case has a glossy polish styling. The polish is smooth, no blotching or grazing on the sides and on the top of the case. Note the gentle curvature of the case on the sides. The case walls are sculpted in a pleasing and almost luxurious fashion. The transition to the top of the case all the way to the bezel is smooth, yet the separation of layers are distinct. The dial is crisp and edged in a minimalistic bezel that also throws us back to the Rolex OP styling. Considering the case back mentions stainless steel, I am not certain that means the case is also steel. Most likely some alloy for reducing production costs. The case back is a snapback. There's just 50-meter water resistance here. We do have some wordings on the perimeter or the edge of the case back. On the side, we get a medium-sized crown. It goes with the aesthetic of the watch. Of course, it is unsigned because at this price point, really, we don't expect much more. And it's not a screw-in crown. It is just the usual push-pull crown. So there is no date complication. So when you pull out the crown at the first position, you will be able to amend the time. The steel links on the bracelet are held together by push pins. The outer and middle links are brushed with polished sides in line with the case. We get a signed butterfly clasp here. And that is unexpected considering that the crown is unsigned. So it does look rather good. The clasp itself is quite rudimentary, nothing to write home about, but again, at this price point, we don't mind. The dial is where the magic happens with this watch. The background of the dial is turquoise, or sort of baby blue, with a lacquered texture. The scattered bubbles are mostly weighted towards the lower half of the dial. The applied baton indices are clearly visible at and above 3 and 9 o'clock positions. Only the 12 o'clock position is accented with double batons, while all other hour indexes are single batons. The hands have a sword design. They do have some lume applied to it, and as we can see in the lume test, the indexes and their lume is not that great, but you can still see the hands emitting green light for a bit of time. Frankly, I think it could be better, as a short-lived test has shown. If we talk about the crystal, it's just mineral glass here. But again, at $18, I wouldn't expect more. It's flat and it's just proud of the bezel. The movement here is a Japanese quartz. It's a Miyota movement. So you get a dependable, at least 2 years worth of wearing before you change the battery. In regards to price, I paid just 18 bucks for this watch, and I'd say that's probably the better spent $18. It is such a cool watch for the price. I will be leaving a link to the listing where I got this watch from in the description below the video, so make sure to check it out if you want to get a sharp price. So in summary, what are my thoughts on this watch? Well, what can I say? It is definitely a fun watch, and you can get it in 3 colors. So we've got with me turquoise or the baby blue, then you've got the pink as well as the yellow backgrounds. I think the turquoise and the lacquer texture, I think that looks really special in mostly any occasion. So now even I'm going to the office, I think in this setup, this watch, it does get people talking. Like at the pub, I get asked, what's that? And you start talking about it. And you say, well, it's a homage to this and that. And people go, okay, that's interesting. Because it's not a toy, even though it is so much fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please drop me a like. If you want to see more of the same, you know what to do. Please hit the red subscribe button below the video. And I'll see you in the next one.